Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Set Haru, and thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, guys. So first of all, 5/19/19 this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are all meeting here to work on the book Being Me, Loving You by Marshall Rosenberg. It is a book about nonviolent communication with your loved ones. If you already have the book, please read pages 1 to 6 for our discussion. And if you don't have the book, you can still come because I'm, of course, going to be explaining what 1 to 6 is talking about. So please join us if you have time. Likewise, let me tell you guys today's topic. All right, so yesterday I mentioned to you guys that Aquarius often are stalked. Bottom line, we often have people who don't want to let us go. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I explained some of the reasons why. So after I was finished, one of the young ladies in the comment section made me laugh so hard because she said Aquarius are stalked because they ghost people without explanation. And I laughed hard because she ain't never lied. We do that. I've done that. And some of the reasons how come I've gotten stalked has been because of that. I will give you that. But this is my problem with this. You're right. We do sometimes do that. And I have told Aquarius on this channel more than once that that's not a good idea. And I stopped doing it personally because of people on this channel who've been ghosted by an Aquarius and told me how painful it was. So now I still step off, but I don't step off without explanation. That's what changed. So I do agree with you. Aquarius should at least say something. At least say, look, this isn't working for me, before you block them. That's the least we can do, right? And I agree with that. But there's another problem with this. Just because somebody ghosts you without explanation doesn't give you the right to harass and stalk them. Now, I agree that since you guys are in some type of an emotional relationship, it would be better if they at least said something to you, like, this isn't working for me, I'm moving on, something. But I've done that and the person still stalked and harassed me. I told Voldemort why I was walking away more than one time and still got the same reception. So my thing is that probably does happen in some cases. I agree with you, but it's a poor excuse and it happens anyway. You do not have the right to stalk and harass somebody. If somebody tells you they don't want to be bothered with you, the dignified, prideful, adult thing to do is to keep it moving. I've been ghosted before, and it was exactly the same energy. I got ghosted by a Taurus. I couldn't understand what the hell was wrong with her because we were getting along so well, and she just disappeared. So of course I texted her, of course I called her, I left her a message. After the third time, because everything for me is in threes, after the third message, I figured she don't want to talk to me. So there's nothing I can do about it. So I let it go. She came back a couple days later on her own. And we resumed the relationship, but it never really went well. So I ended up leaving it for good. But my point is that when she said, she didn't even say, when she ghosted and gave me the energy that she didn't want to be bothered, I left her alone. That's what I don't like about this. When an Aquarius tells somebody or doesn't tell somebody that they don't want to be bothered and they disappear, then the person thinks they have the right to stalk, harass, keep calling, coming to their house, mailing them letters. Like, seriously, none of that is appropriate. Have some pride, you know? If I tell somebody that I don't want to be bothered or I just ghost them without telling them anything and they keep coming at me, I get more angry every time they try to approach me. Every time they approach me again, I'm angry again. So if I was going to come back, they pushing me further and further away. You see? So my thing is that if somebody doesn't want to be bothered with you, that is their loss. That's not your loss, that's their loss. If they don't want to be bothered with you, tell them deuces. It was nice getting to know you and keep it moving. Don't ever put yourself out there looking like Boo Boo the Fool, calling them over and over again, stalking them, playing on their phone, you know, mailing them letters, mailing them baskets. I mean, come on. This is all stalker, single, there was a movie called Single White Female. And again, this is the same kind of psychotic behavior, Somebody doesn't want to be bothered with you and you go off the deep end. That is not the appropriate response to that. The appropriate response is to leave them alone. Likewise, a girl said to me, and a guy said to me too, that their Aquarius left, ghosted, and then had the nerve to come back. And I'm like, first of all, they shouldn't have done that. Bottom line. I mean, come on. If you're going to leave, if you're going to move, keep it moving. But secondly, that's on you. If an Aquarius ghosted you and you let them come back repeatedly, come on. You are allowing that dynamic in your relationship. And you can't blame that on the Aquarius. Because yes, they ghosted and came back repeatedly, but you are allowing this in your life. I would not allow somebody to ghost me repeatedly and keep coming back. After the first time, well, now I wouldn't take it at all. I'm going to be honest with you. If somebody ghosted me now, I would just keep it moving. But when I was younger, maybe once, maybe even twice. But if you keep on allowing somebody who's flinging you to the side every time they got something better to do to keep coming back to you, that's on you. That's not that person's fault. That's your fault, because somewhere inside of yourself, you're not loving yourself. Your self-esteem is not high enough, because if somebody ghosts you and you have a healthy self-esteem and healthy self-love, you will say, you know what? That's their decision. I don't agree with it and it's very painful, but that's their decision. And you will keep it moving, and you wouldn't let them play with you and come in and out of your life like you're a fucking yo-yo. That's not cool. So that's your fault. Because the one young lady that said this to me in my inbox, she said, well, when the Aquarius left, they had the nerve to come back. And I said, and you had the nerve to let them. Don't let nobody play with you like that. If they leave, be like deuces and move on. And that's the problem that happens in the revolving door. If your Aquarius keeps leaving like that, there's a problem. Most of the time when an Aquarius leaves and comes back, it's because of the fact that they really didn't want to leave you. They just needed some space. And they didn't have the skills to say that, or they told you that and you ignored it. If your Aquarius says, I need some space, and you keep pushing up, keep calling, keep coming over, keep coming around, and then they ghost you, it's just that they needed some space and you weren't listening. You weren't hearing what the Aquarius was saying to you. And if you don't listen to an Aquarius, we stop talking after a while. If I keep telling you something over and over again, after a while, I stop talking to you. And sometimes the first time I stop talking to you. It depends on how close we are. If we're close and I keep telling you some shit over and over again and you keep doing it, eventually I'm going to disappear. So they might have told you, they might not have actually ghosted you. They might have told you and you just weren't paying attention or didn't listen to them or didn't register what it was that they just said. But in other cases, we definitely do ghost. And I've told you guys why, and I'm going to tell you why again. Aquarius will ghost if they need space. And Aquarius will ghost if they're uncertain about the relationship or if they're afraid or something like that happens. They will ghost if they think that you don't have anything to offer. They will ghost if somebody else makes them a better offer. There's a lot of reasons here. And these are just some of the reasons that I'm familiar with. And so these are a lot of reasons why an Aquarius will ghost. But this video isn't about why we ghost. This video is about it's not acceptable to stalk and harass someone because they ghost you. That is showing an extreme amount of emotional instability. That person ghosted you, that person did whatever it was that they did, and you sit there and start stalking them, and you think that's a reasonable response? It's not. It's not a reasonable response, and it doesn't make things better between you and the Aquarius. 9 times out of 10, it either pushes them further away or it lets them know that you're a doormat. and they can walk away and come back. My father used to do that. I know this for a fact. My mother said on several occasions my father left and came back. And the last time he came back, guess what? The locks was changed. You got to have some respect for yourself, and you can't let a person do that to you. So if you are allowing an Aquarius to do that, don't blame the Aquarius, blame yourself. Get some help with your self-esteem. Get some help with your self-love. And you won't put up with that shit no more. The next time that Aquarius comes around, you'll be like, I'm seeing a Capricorn. I'm seeing a Pisces, I'm seeing somebody else. You won't even have time for that Aquarius. And that's what I recommend. I never would allow that in my life. And likewise, I would never stalk someone just because they stopped talking to me. I would reach out to them 3 times and maybe once, depending upon how much I like them, and then I'm going to let it go. Because at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't want to be bothered with you, that is their right. They have the right to not be bothered. And you have the right to not let them bounce back in your life whenever they see fit. So think about that. If you have an Aquarius who ghosted you or who keeps ghosting you, think about, why are you putting up with this shit? You can do better. Okay? I hope that helps. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you would like to leave me a love donation, I'll leave my PayPal information. If you would like to get a reading, please email me for an appointment. If you have a question for Ask an Aquarius, please email it to me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who's been through this, please pass this video on to them. And by the way, it doesn't matter who you've been ghosted by, Aquarius or not, it's still not acceptable to stalk and harass them. Okay? Leave it alone. See you guys later.